Hi everyone, got a preview here for the week ahead. It's Tuesday the 21st of May and a fair bit going on, both domestically in the UK and abroad. Don't know where to start really, but I'll go in roughly chronological order. I mean, it's worth noting that the European Athletics YouTube channel has all sorts of meetings they're showing a live stream for now. I think there's three in the next few days, but getting details on all the meetings and who's competing is extremely difficult. It needs a bit of research. I mean, I'll try and help here, but I'm just concentrating on a few when there's actually loads of meetings going on around Europe, particularly. So looking at what we've got this week, there is a British Milers Club meeting at Eltham on Wednesday the 22nd. I'll be there. Doesn't have the same number of entries it's had in the past, but I think that's due to restrictions, and now it's been limited to British Milers Club members mainly. So that's pulled in the numbers a little bit, reduced them. But the big one for the British Milers point of view is Saturday's Grand Prix meeting at Manchester, and there's quite a lot of intriguing entries. It starts at 4 o'clock. They have said that the start list will go up today, Tuesday, probably this evening, I guess, which is a bit earlier than they used to publish them because they'll all be chopping and changing during the week. But so look out for that on the British Milers Club website. There's 800, 1500, 5000 and steeplechase races for both sexes. It's on a Vinco runner space, which you need a subscription for, pay for subscription. I did suggest to some people at the British Milers Club that they might do better having pay-per-view for a £5 or something like that, but no, it's not to be. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but from my point of view, if I did a survey of our training group, I think there's about 60 or 70 on it, including those that are at university, etc. And I think there was 2 of us had a subscription, so that sort of gave an idea of the take up. You know, people aren't willing to fork out, similar to FlowTrack, for significant amounts of money. But to be fair, Vinco and Runner Space, they're offering a lot more now. So if you're interested in the USA, it's worth taking a subscription out. But maybe just for the UK meetings, maybe not. So I don't know, up to you, but that's where it can be found. Men's 800 at Sport City. Amongst the entries are Callum Dodds, who ran 144 recently, and Reece Sharman Newell, who's in form and just raced in the States, started doing the pretty quick times. So look out for those two if they run. On the women's, it's even better. We got Louise Shanahan from Ireland, Izzy Boffey, Kiera McGeehan, Kai Malanga, all capable of breaking 2 minutes. And then Phoebe Gill, who ran the 157 at age 17 in Ireland recently. If they all line up, that should be a cracker, and I expect everyone will be looking forward to seeing what Phoebe Gill might do with a second 800 metre race of the year. Then the 1500 on the men's side, just looking solid with plenty of people looking for a breakthrough. I'd say lots of 340 plus runners from the UK in there. The women's race has Sarah Calvert's the fastest Brit with a 4:10 PB, but then there's Lara Galvan from Mexico's run 4:03, Jayla Hancock Cameron, who's run 4:10 from Australia. And perhaps the juniors again might attract some attention. We've got Ines Fitzgerald in there and Shakira King, who've started the season pretty well. On the men's side, the 5,000, well, I've had to look twice at this because Angus McMillan's looks like he's the fastest Brit, 13:56 of the normal Brits you would see competing. But Mark Scott's entered, who's sub 13, and Hilary Bohr from the USA, who's targeting 13:10. So that's going to be an odd race. You're gonna if they run, you're going to have a couple at the front going at really quick, and then another bunch 200 meters behind. So Vinco and Runners Space won't be showing much of the other runners in that race if it pans out the way that it's planned. Kate Axford is the best entry on the women's side, I would say, and I assume she'll be targeting sort of 15:30 or even quicker. There she ran really well at Watford in the 3,000 metres last week, think it was 8:53 she ran in the mixed race there. So she's in fine form, and we'll have an eye on European qualifying time, I'm sure. The steeplechase, bit patchy on the entries, no sub-10s on the women's side that I can see. There's Finley Daly of Ireland and Solomon Holderbets from USA, both aiming around 8:40 on the men's race. Again, these are all entries, and there's always chopping and changing depending on how recent races have gone, niggles, all sorts of reasons. So yeah, it gives you a bit of a flavour of what's going on. I'll mention then on Sunday there's the Great Manchester Run that's on BBC One at 11 o'clock on Sunday. Not sure who the top athletes. I haven't got Mo Farah this year for the first time in about 30 years. So yeah, I'm not quite sure who's going to be racing there, but no doubt there'll be some good racing going on. I expect James Rhodes and others will correct me and have do a bit more research than I've done on that. But it's on BBC One, 11 o'clock Sunday morning, 26th of May. Then we go, and I'm looking at the Diamond League in Eugene, which is actually on the Saturday night in the UK. Starts at sort of lunchtime in the USA, but they're 8 hours behind. So it's 9 o'clock BBC Three or Channel 115 in the UK. And it's on between, it goes up to almost 11 o'clock with the big race I'm going to mention in a minute. If you go on the Diamond League website for Eugene, you can see some events have got the entry lineups already and others haven't. It won't be on the BBC, but there's a women's and men's 10,000 metres, seems to be pre-programmed, so quite early in the day, and they include the Kenyan trials, which is intriguing, but I can't see any entry lists for those because they're not part of the Diamond League, but that will be intriguing. Some of the big races are women's races. The women's 1500 from a Brit's point of view, very interesting. Georgia Bell, Laura Muir, Katie Snowden all line up there. Weltelji from Ethiopia is the fastest at 3:53 PB. It's 13 sub-4 runners in there, so that should be a great race. Women's steeplechase, no Brits. Yavi is the only sub 9-minute runner in there. She's run 8:50, for probably number one in the world currently, or was last year. But the women's 800's one of probably the two main events to look at from a distance point of view, and you couldn't really ask for much more than this other than having Phoebe Gill in there. We've got Keely Hodgkinson, Athing Mu, Mary Morar, and Dagama, who's run 1:57. I think she might be the fastest in the world this year, but the big three, Hodgkinson, Mu and Morar, all in there currently, and that should be a cracker. Again, sponsored by Nike, the home of Nike, so I think a lot of Nike athletes have been persuaded one way or another to have to compete at this meeting, whatever they might have wanted to do. And I'm sure it's part of their contracts one way or another. That's why we're getting these lineups. Then at 10:52 UK time, it's the final event of the day in Eugene, is the Bowen Mile. And I don't normally read out every single runner listed to compete, but this is something special. It's pretty much the Olympic final, or potential Olympic final. Georgie Beamish won the world indoor 1500 metre title. Matt Centrowitz, ex-Olympic champion. We got Renaud Chariot, Garcia Romo, Germa, Gawley, Hoare, Hocker, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Josh Kerr, Hobbs Kessler, Kipsang, Cameron Mars from Australia, Yared Nuguse and Jake Whiteman, who ran 1:44.1 for 800 metres last weekend and is coming into form. Put it in the comments if you want. Who can get the top 5 in order? I'll go. This is a bit of fun, this. I will go Ingebrigtsen, Kerr, Nuguse, Whiteman, and Hocker. and I'm going to be completely wrong. But what a race to look forward to. Hope you have a good week.